Within a few days after this, there commenced on the Haivataka mountain a grand festival of the Vrishnis and the Andihakas. At the mountain festival of the Bihoshas, the Vrishnis and the Andihakas, the heroes of those tribes began to give away much wealth unto Brahmanas by thousands. The region around that hill was adorned with many a mansion decked with gems and many an artificial trees of gaudy hue. The musicians struck up in concert, and the dancers began to dance, and the vocalists to sing. And the youths of the Vrishni haze, and with great energy, adorned with every ornament, and riding in their golden decked cars, looked extremely handsome. The citizens, some on foot, and some in excellent cars, with their wives and followers, went there by hundreds and thousands. And there was the Lord Haladihara, hoving at will, hilarious with drink, accompanied by Hevati, and followed by many musicians and vocalists. There came Ugrasena, the powerful king of the Vrishni haze, accompanied by his 1,000 wives and followed by sweet singers. And Haukiminea and Sihamva, ever furious in battle, hovered there, excited with drink and adorned with floral wreaths of great beauty and with costly attires, and disported themselves like a pair of celestials, and Akrura, and Sarana, and Gada, Vabihu, Nishatiha, and Sihahudesna, Pritihu, Vipritihu, Satyaka, Satyaki, and Bihangakara, Maharava, Hardikiya, Udihava, and many others whose names are not given, accompanied by their wives that followed by bands of singers, adorned that mountain festival. When that delightful festival of immense grandeur commenced, Vasudeva and Partha went about together, beholding everything around. While wandering there, they saw the handsome daughter of Vasudeva, Bihadra by name, decked with every ornament in the midst of her maids. As soon as Arjuna beheld her, he was possessed by the god of desire. Then that tiger among men, Krishna, observing Partha, contemplate her with absorbed attention, said with a smile, "How is this? Can the heart of one that hangeth the woods be agitated by the god of desire? This is my sister, and the uterine sister of Sarana. Blessed be thou. Her name is Bihadra, and she is the favorite daughter of my father. Tell me if thy heart is fixed upon her, for I shall then speak to my father myself." Arjuna answered, "She is Vasudeva's daughter and Vasudeva's sister, and with so much beauty, whom can she not fascinate? If this thy sister, this maid of the Vrishni race, becometh my wife, truly may I win prosperity in everything. Tell me, by what means I may obtain her. To get her, I will achieve anything that is achievable by men." Vasudeva answered, "But amongst men, self-choice hath been ordained for the marriage of Kshatriyas. That is doubtful, as we do not know this girl, temper and disposition. In the case of Kshatriyas that are brave, a forcible abduction for purposes of marriage is applauded, as the learned have said. Therefore, carry away this my beautiful sister by force, for who knows what she may do at a self-choice? Then Krishna and Arjuna, having thus settled as to what should be done, sent some speedily messengers unto Yudhishthira at Indraprastha, informing him of everything. The strong-armed Yudhishthira, as soon as he heard it, gave his assent to it. Then Dhananjaya informed of the assent of Yudhishthira, and ascertaining that the maiden had gone to the Haivataka hill, obtained the assent of Vasudeva, after having settled in consultation with him all that required to be done. Then that bull of Bharata haste, that foremost of men, with Krishna assent, riding in his well-built car of gold, equipped with rows of small bells, and with every kind of weapons, and the clatter of whose wheels resembled the roar of the clouds, and whose splendor was like unto that of a blazing fire, and which struck terror into the hearts of all foes, and unto which were yoked the steeds Saivya and Sugriva, himself accoutred in mail and armed with sword, and his fingers encased in leathern gloves, set out as it were on a hunting expedition. Meanwhile Subhadra, having paid her homage unto that prince of hills, Haivataka, and having worshipped the deities and made the Brahmanas utter benedictions upon her, and having walked round the hill, was coming towards Dvaravati. The son of Kunti, afflicted with the shafts of the god of the Tsar, suddenly rushed towards that Yadava girl of faultless features, and forcibly took her into his car. Having seized that girl of sweet smiles, the tiger among men proceeded in his car of gold towards his own city. Meanwhile the armed attendants of Subhadra, beholding her thus seized and taken away, all ran crying towards the seat of Dvaraka, reaching out together the Yadava court, called by the name of Sudhiharma. They represented everything about the prowess of Partha unto the chief officer of the court. The chief officer of the court, having heard everything from those messengers, blew his golden-decked trumpet of loud blare, calling out to arms. Stirred up by that sound, the beholder, the Vrishnis, and the Andihakas began to pour in from all sides. Those that were eating left their food, and those that were drinking left their drink. Those tigers among men, those great warriors of the Vrishni and the Haka tribes, took their seats upon their 1,000 thrones of gold covered with excellent carpets, and variegated with gems and corals, and possessed of the lustre of blazing fire. Indeed, they took their seats upon those thrones like blazing fires, receiving fagots to increase their splendor. And after they were seated in that court, which was like unto a conclave of the celestials themselves, the chief officer of the court, assisted by those that stood at his back, spoke of the conduct of Jishnu. The proud Vrishni heroes of eyes red with wine, as soon as they heard of it, rose up from their seats, unable to brook what Arjuna had done. Some amongst them said, "Yoke our cars," and some, "Bring our weapons," and some said, "Bring our costly bows and strong coats of mail." And some loudly called upon their charioteers to harness their cars, and some, from impatience, themselves yoked their horses decked with gold unto their cars. And while their cars and armors and standards were being brought, loud became the uproar of those heroes. Then Valadeva, white and tall as the peak of Kailasa, decked with garlands of wild flowers, and attired in the blue robes, and proud and intoxicated with drink, said these words: "Ye senseless men, what are ye doing, when Janardana sitteth silent, without knowing what is in his mind? Vainly do we roar in wrath. Let the high-souled Krishna give out what he proposeth, accomplish promptly what he desireth to do." Then all of them, hearing those words of Halayudhiha that deserved to be accepted, exclaimed, "Excellent, excellent." They then all became silent. Silence having been restored by the words of the intelligent Valadeva, they took their seats once more in that assembly. Then Rama, that oppressor of foes, spoke unto Vasudeva, saying, "Why, Janardana, sittest thou, gazing silent? Achyuta, it was for thy sake that the son of Pritha had been welcomed and honored by us. It seemeth, however, that vil wretch deserved not our homage. What man is there born of a respectable family that won't break the plate after having dined from it? Even if one desireth to contact such an alliance, yet remembering all the service he hath received, who is there, desirous of happiness, that acts so rashly? That Pandava, disregarding us and thee, hath today outraged Subhadra, desiring his own death. He hath placed his foot on the crown of my head. How shall I tamely bear it? Shall I not resent it, even like a snake that is trodden upon? Alone shall I today make the earth destitute of Kauravas. Never shall I put up with this transgression by Arjuna. Then all the Bhojas, Vrishnis, and Andihakas present there approved of everything that Valadeva had said, deeply roaring like unto a kettle drum or the clowns.